And it is October 20th, and it is part 2 of our discussion of BDS. And we're about to hear from the negative side from Yang Zia, who's going to tell us that this house believes that the BDS movement against Israel is not wrong.
Hi everyone, my name is Yang Xia.
Hi Yang.
The topic is on this house believes that the BDS movement against Israel is wrong, and I'm on the negative stance. So what is the problem? I think the problem is that since the 1948 to 1949 war, there has been an ongoing Israel-Palestine conflict resulting in wars, bloodshed, and hatred, and the conflict is yet to be resolved. So basically, the United States and the international community have attempted to broker a solution to the conflict in the past years. However, according to Peter Tacho from the BDS movement debate in 2015 that we watched in class, our attempts including diplomacy, negotiations, and armed struggle have all failed. So basically, the problem right now is to create a peaceful solution to the ongoing conflict that will really solve the problem. So how big is the problem? Why is this important? So basically, lots of Israelis and Palestinians have died due to the ongoing conflicts over the years. According to JewishVirtualLibrary.org, in 2014, more than 6,000 Israelis and 10,000 Palestinians were killed during the 1948 to 1949 war, and then during the Six-Day War in 1967, more than 700 Israelis and more than 18,000 Palestinians were killed. And from 1948 to 2014, more than 14,000 Israelis and more than 74,000 Palestinians were killed, over the years. In addition to the lives lost due to the conflict, a lot of Palestinians became refugees as the result of the conflict as well. According to Rose, 2016, Israel ethnically cleansed about 750,000 Palestinians from their homeland in 1948. So basically, a lot of Palestinians lost their homes due to the conflict. So the problem is, why do we have this problem? Why did it all happen? I think the problem isn't BDS movement, or we can just blame the Israel people. It all happened in the 1920s when the League of Nations issued British as the mandate of Palestine, and that mandating laid the foundation for all the conflicts that happened later. So according to Raymond in Time, published in Time, 2014, it said in 1917, years before the mandate was issued, the British government had formalized its support for a Jewish state in a public letter from Foreign Secretary Arthur James Balfour, known as the Balfour Declaration. So the British had this intention of setting a Jewish state in demanded Palestine. And then also, according to Raymond, 2014, in Time, by endorsing British control of the region with specific conditions, the League of Nations did help lay the groundwork for the modern Jewish state and for the tensions between Jews and Arabs in the region that would persist for decades more. Though Israel would not exist for years to come, Jewish migrants flowed from Europe to Mediterranean Palestine, and formal Jewish institutions began to take shape amid a sometimes violent push to finalize the creation of a Jewish state. Meanwhile, the growing Jewish population exacerbated tensions with the Arab community and fueled conflicting Arab nationalist movements. So the conflict began when the United Nations passed a plan of partition approved by the UN General Assembly, which was actually rejected by most of Arab world in 1947. Basically, the UK declared that it would terminate its mandate in Palestine in 1968 and left Palestine to the United Nations to handle. And the United Nations decided that the whole Palestine would be divided into independent Arab and Jewish state, and also a special international regime for the city of Jerusalem. This plan was approved by UN General Assembly despite the rejections by most of the Arab world, including the Palestinians. So in order to show their rejections, lots of wars happened like after the partition was approved. And then like the conflict goes all the way like until today.
That's time.
It's time.
Yeah. I now stand open for cross-examination and points of clarification.
I now stand open for cross-examination and points of clarification.
If you haven't asked a question, jump in.
I'll ask a question.
Oh, praise the Lord. Who hasn't?
I'll ask one.
Great.
I already asked one, but.
Okay, well, let's see. Is Obed here? Okay, great. Then we'll hear from Obed.
Hello. My name is Thelma.
Hi, Thelma.
I want to know why Israel has to be a Jewish state when it is a democracy.
So that's what happened in the 1920s. So basically at that time, British decided to have like a Jewish state inside the mandate.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I said that.
Okay.
Obed, stand up for Jesus and ask a question, please.
So what is the solution? What's the ultimate goal of BDS?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't get to that part. So basically, the solution is to pressure Israel economically to make them withdraw to the 1970 borders, and also to end the discrimination of the Arabs and Palestinians and secure the right of return of the Palestinian refugees.
Psalm, do you have a question?
He's not here.
Let's hear from Pierre. You ask a question?
I asked the question.
Natalie? Is there a Natalie? Nayeli? Is that Nayeli? Nayeli, okay. Middle name Natalie? Okay, well, whatever. Did you ask? Okay. Okay, good.
There's a question.
Okay, good, go, quickly.
Hi, my name is Kelsey.
Hi, Kelsey.
What is the disadvantages to your solution?
The disadvantages would be, so basically the BDS movement is also deployed or utilized by anti-Semitic people. Like, so they basically use the movement as a way to harm the Israel people. But I feel like just because people can use this movement to do bad things doesn't mean the movement and the message itself is anti-Semitic or is bad or is wrong.
Okay, thank you. I wanted you to hear a few comments from Jared and Joe about what has transpired so far, so that those of you going next Thursday will have a better opportunity to be more efficient and better time allocation and fully read your citations. Go ahead, Joe. You have any quick comments either about the actual argumentation or anything really?
So I'll be fairly brief because I know class is about to end. One of the main issues that I saw, which I think we probably all know by now, is about time management. People not getting to their solution, which is arguably the most important piece of like any brief, and spending maybe too much time on like historical context was one of the common issues that I saw. One of the main things that I really liked that I thought most of y'all did pretty well with is when you would move off script, right? So like most of the time people would be reading from their brief, which isn't the best way to present things, but I understand that's how you're going to get good information. But it was really cool to see when people would go off their script and talk about like an analogy or something, how they would see it. Or add an extra level of passion where I could tell, okay, it's not as if this person is reading just articles that, they copied and pasted, or information they copied and pasted, right? But this person has actually thought about the issues, they're able to speak about it without looking at the words on the paper. That, I think, is really powerful and really persuasive. Even if the information you're presenting isn't as good, the speaking style is a lot better.
Okay, make your comments, Jerry.
Yeah, I would just say, just to like highlight time allocation, just definitely, if context is important to set up your argumentation, but don't spend very much time on it at all. Just give very briefly, like here's where the conflict stems from, this is why the conflict is particularly important, and then here's why BDS solves that conflict, or does not solve that conflict. And then you provide, I liked some speeches I heard where they gave several branches of their argument. Like there are two types of, one was like micro and macro, and the other one was like attitudinal and structural, where you're giving like specific parts of your argument and then providing analysis on each of those to create more than just like a single argument that an opponent could or could not take down. So that's a good strategy, and I like seeing that. And then for your solution, some people, I agree with Joe again, like some people did get to it or got to it but didn't get enough time to provide solid analysis for their solution. So always make sure you have time for that. Other than that, nothing that wasn't said already.
It's helpful you'll find this in the upcoming debates, to write out cross-examination questions that you want to ask that are closed-ended. Wouldn't hurt to review the Cross-X article on the website of how to approach effective cross-examination. Okay, that's enough. Return with honor. Selma, can I talk to you a minute?
I don't think
Have you ever considered
going down
joining the debating team?
so I don't have anything written
I do value the practice that would bring me. I want to become a good speaker because I think it's important in the business world, which is where I'm headed. And so that would be great. But I find isn't it like the most stressful way to live your life? Because isn't it stressful to always have to be memorizing speeches?
I don't memorize.
Yeah, and the style we practice is extemporaneous. So
I don't know.
for 15 minutes and then you deliver arguments.
I do need to learn how to do that.
You should join me.
Jared and I will be holding office
Tuesday,
hours
Thursday,
in Bunch
6 to 8 p.m.
right after
and
the
it's in Bunch 1221.
If anyone wants some help with
Yeah.
anything.
So just show up, check it out.
I know I have it. So
I have a question. I'm not going to be here next Thursday. I'll be in New York for job purposes.
awesome. Great.
Or you can show
Is there a
tonight.
way I
Me
can
too.
have like one of them email
Probably
me
still
the
for
midterm?
I actually only
Or
got
Ask
a
Professor Miller
2-hour
about it.
Yeah.
Not worth the party today.
No.
Okay. And then is your email
Great.
still this?
Look forward to seeing you there.
Here, let me see if I have it. I don't have it. Yeah, I'll, Prof Miller. You're right.
That's
Prof Miller at speech.ucla.edu.
Also, is there redos for this? I felt like I really went in without knowing like where to start and like the premise of everything, and I feel like I could have improved my speech a lot more if I had the information given me that everyone else heard from reading me.
No, I took that into account.
What?
what I would have suggested was just not even worrying about that in the definitions, and just when you got to the point that it was important.
I didn't go up today, but I did my brief. Do you want it to know that I did it on time, or do you want it next week when I